Record to this computer. Should be recording now. Yeah. Now it's recording.
Do you want
So
to
if
repeat the question?
yeah, so before the meeting starts, I just want to ask if anyone have any experience with the vibe coding, sort of say. Whoever wants to start, just start.
Well, maybe I can start.
Yeah.
So my experience with vibe coding is limited to using Augment over the summer in my internship quite extensively,
Mm-hmm.
um, which is like another course. And yeah, it was very helpful. I also took an evening hackathon with Claude Code, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually do anything myself because I didn't have the API. Um, and then other than that, like just using
Mm-hmm.
all the LMs to get input, like
Okay.
participating in some workshop, not really implementing anything.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else? Or I can just start.
Uh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I was going to say I use Cursor quite a bit, but I feel
Yeah.
like I use the prototype stuff. If I'm writing like production code, I think it's not really good, and I'm always a bit scared that maybe like
Okay.
security issues. Never really like pushed any
Okay.
Cursor, but nice to test and do stuff very quickly.
Okay, great. Now I will begin probably. So I will share my screen and we'll talk to you guys. So before that, I would strongly not recommend, like, for example, for starters, what's this stuff and how it works and stuff like that. So the cursor is basically a tool that allows you to, for example, where do we go? My studies. um, LSTM, fifth segment, like that. So if you see here, what the cursor, for example, allows us is to interact directly with the environment you set up in the directory. There is lots of ways how to set up a proper environment, but I would actually not recommend you to use cursor because now it's in the way that it is pretty badly wraps the agents again around your code. What I mean by that is that in order to achieve a great results with the agent itself, you have to properly connect it to your data. And currently, Cursor lost its like thing idea, I would say, and basically it's like already old technology. I would say it's growing really fast, and this field is changing like dramatically all over the time. So you better like keep up with the trends and like get the basic understanding as far as you can, as fast as you can get. But for example, what do I use Cursor for now? It's a great tool for using it with the Jupyter notebooks, because more or less it's connected to the Jupyter notebooks, and you can like interact with them. It can change it and stuff like that. But still, if we call the agent here, uh, here, how do I minimize it? Just a second. Yeah. You see, we have like an agents and stuff like that. But to my mind, the cursor makes lots of redundant code and makes lots of bugs. And I would not really recommend you to use it in any serious tasks, I would say, because it just cannot like complete tasks as it should be. My goal tool is Claude Code, and the reason why is that in Claude Code I can configure lots of different parameters. I can navigate through things. I can add the plugins. We can do lots of different stuff with Claude Code. It's more professional, more I would say uh, it's not that user friendly as Cursor because Cursor looks very nice. You have these models to select. You can just like prompt stuff and it will do the job. But for the production ways, it's not that great as my experience shown. It cannot like complete the things the way you want, and probably when you, for example, do the commit, it will crash your code base and it will fail. So I'm not using code base cursor at all, I would say, in my daily basis. The only thing that I use as the IDE for now is the Z terminal. Just that, Z. It's an open source IDE. It's not a VS Code fork as Cursor. It's a bit proprietary. And the problem with this tool is that it cannot support the Jupyter notebook. So this is why I'm using still Cursor, because I don't know. This is just the reason. Um, if we go deep into the Claude, we can uh, we can set up, for example, a test project. Do you have any ideas of what do we want to achieve, for example, like build any game or stuff like that? Maybe a snake game. Do you like the idea of snake game? Okay. Um,
Can we do some data analysis?
we can do data analysis. Um, we can do data analysis. Let's. What data do we want? What data do we want? Do we want? Hmm. In the snake, we will do the. Yeah. So I think we could analyze the. Do you have any ideas of data set? Open data sets? I don't know. I don't remember anything. Um,
Well, you have one.
our data. If you want, we can do that. So
Me and Max are like doing like another art investment project, and we scrapped Sotheby's auction data.
If you want, we can do that. So for that, I would also show you stuff, really cool stuff before that. Then I think. How much time do you have for this meeting?
An hour, 30 minutes an hour.
An hour. Okay. Then
Yeah.
just say to me. I was also joining an alpha test of a JetBrains products. One of the products called Memory. It's a local ID tool. It's local agentic tool that can embed your data. Here is my review, actually. Yeah. Data engineer Max. It's me. Um, so it's a local, I would say, embedding tool for your database that can allow you to improve your data analytics. So, for example, if you're going to use data, it helps you in a way that if you want to work with the data and you want to use AI, but you don't want to give a direct access to your data AI, you can embed your data, store it locally, and give an access to embeddings, not like to the complete picture of the data, not to exact data, but just to a specific corpus of data. So if we go to plot, before the meeting, I actually set up a memory project for it. Uh, it's relatively easy. You can also ask Claude Code to do this for you. But if we go to the documentation, it's just installation projects, creating the memory project inside the directory you are working with and where your data source is located. Then you configure the data source in the config file. So Postgres, MySQL, data, DuckDB, and stuff like that. You just try to get as much documentation as you want there, plus any sources as you want and stuff like that. Then you build the context, and then you have a working MCP server, to which I will demonstrate. So, for example, here, I will copy this prompt and I will show you. So here we have a connectors. In connectors, we have auction data. I have lots of such MCP created for myself because I'm using it for data explanatory analysis and stuff like that. But for now, we will use this data, and it contains around 4 tables. So we passed our prompt asking the model to go to embeddings and check what kind of data do we have. So in the meantime, I would show you also a very good tool that I'm also using. It's called Get Shit Done. Very funny name. The main purpose of this tool is to avoid context overlapping and context problems with the Claude. So this helps us to build a proper project inside our Claude environment. I will go through the steps. How do we want to create a project? By the way, if you're going to vibe code any stuff, it is very important for you to understand the specifics and the ideas and the math and the everything basically behind the thing you're doing. Because if you don't, you cannot evaluate whether the work was done properly or not properly. So if you're a trader, you have to know how to trade without the vibe coding tools. And in that case, it could be a boost in your productivity. If you cannot do it like without those tools, it's really bad. At least you have to know the basics and the rules in the field you're working in order to achieve any goals with the vibe coding. It's very important so you can like I will demonstrate why. It's very important for you to understand how it works because when you do a project, it's like really a must to think in a systematic and problem solvable way. So what this MCP server do for your, it's not as an MCP, it's basically a plugin for Cloud Code. It allows you to create a roadmap of your project. So for example, for our data analysis, what do we want? We want to extract the data. We want to probably clean the data. Then we want to what do we do? We want to, for example, check the distribution of our data. Then we want to maybe convert to other distribution. We want to check if we have like we want to convert, for example, if we have any, I don't know, uh, log standard distribution. We want to convert it to the standard distribution in order to apply the Bayesian theorem to the data, and then we want to predict the values, like how how often does the one value come out of other value. To do that, you basically have to at least understand how it all works, and then you can explain your agent to do this. So it's very important. So here, what do we have? We have a tool that allows us to create projects inside our directories. So with this command, we create a project. The system will ask our questions. It will create a state, a roadmap, and planning. What it helps with is the context overlapping, because as you add more and more context to the agents and LLM itself, it starts to critically forget stuff and lose its common sense, I would say. Since this is our problem, we want to solve it with the lots of .md information that will help our model to navigate like freely through our project. Then we have the phase one where we discuss. We set our first phase. We understand how it works. We plan our research and stuff like that. Then we plan our phase and we say our agent to execute it. Then we have a verification phase where agent will provide us with the delivery how to delivers, and then we can continue on the second phase and so on and so forth. So it's an iterative process where you can start from one point and end in another point. Yeah, so this is very cool tool that helps your agent not to lose stuff and keep track of everything. It also creates logs. It's very important. Here is what our MCP memory tool returned. So what it did the following. So the agent asks themselves the question, then it goes to MCP tool and query the embeddings inside the project. So it doesn't have any direct access to the database, but it can also access, if you allow it, you can also access the database directly and like query itself. It's very nice. And what do we have? We have an auction table, we have an auctions overview, we have lots, we have sales. For now, we want to ask it to write our query, for example, for data analysis. What do we want? We want write me a query to turn the lots plus estimate low, estimate high, and final price. So what do lots UID? So for data analysis, we want to get the estimate low, for estimate high, and the final plus the outcome. So it basically like likelihood and the don't remember the whole theorems by heart, but you should know. So I'm asking to write it a query. Then we go to our IDE tool for the SQL databases to extract the data itself. So we go here. And now we have the ID, estimates, and the final price. Very long list, very good. It will be enough for our data analysis. I would save it in JSON, where I will save it. I will save it. By the way, I really don't like the new Tahoe OS update. It's like very bad. Desktop, snake, save. Results, test. Great. We have 32,000 rows. Since we have it, we can go to our IDE, like to our agent, and start the project. Let's go here. Here. Okay. So what do? We just will go through this and step by step do this. So I'm so sorry. We initialize the project. It will create the agents and understand the code base and map everything if it is unmapped. It's asking us what do we want to eat. We want to create a data analysis node that reads the data. Checks for distribution, converts to standard normal, then uses Bayesian EOM to predict the final prices. Make it in Jupyter notebook. Make it in Jupyter notebook. Before I click the enter, I would also show you the stuff that Claude have inside, it is very important so you can use the full potential of such tools. Is that Claude recently uh, developed a new idea how you can improve the Claude itself by plugins. So it's a sort of MCP, small MCP servers that allows to improve the capabilities of Claude. For example, we have for machine learning, we have an official Hugging Face skills that allows it to properly use the documentation libraries. It can also do the training scripts, the dataset preloading, the embedding model, the downloading model, and also it can send the model back to Hugging Face Hub. It's very nice. So you can improve, for example, you have the Kotlin language server for code intelligence. What it does, it creates a mini server where the Claude can execute the Kotlin code directly and the evaluate and improve itself. What is very nice here, one of the best, I would say, plugins in this marketplace called Context 7. Um, I think I installed it. Yeah, Context 7. Context 7 is a very big database for documentation on anything basically. So you can basically directly ask your agent directly in the environment, well, how do I build this thing? Use the documentation, for example, for Streamlit, and build me this interactive UI tool. This is very nice to have, and it's very important so your model knows what it's doing. Here I will also ask it use the context 7 skills to build an interactive interactive UIs in Jupyter. Great. So the model will automatically ask our questions in order to narrow down our request. What kind of price data you're predicting? Stock financial, real-time estate, products, auction data. If you have any questions in real time, you can just ask me. I will answer it. What's the main case of this notebook? Analyze historical patterns, predict the lot prices. Predict the lot as far as I understand, we want to predict the lot prices because they didn't include the data to the selling part, so we just want to predict. Distribution, well, yeah, let's do the distribution and submit. Yes. Yeah, we cannot run the Jupyter here, forgot. So what it did already, it creates a few uh, outlines of how the project MD will look like. So it's a Jupyter notebook for auction price prediction, Bayesian inference using estimate ranges as priors, prediction final prices for new lots, interpretive distribution plots, point estimate, confidence interval, full distribution visualization data. They shot some exactly as we requested. In any case, if we wanted to do more better analysis, we will press for the keep exploring, or if it's something wrong, we just type something else that we don't like about the results that it made. Also, while it's building, it's very useful. I can show you others tools that it is very useful for you, but open code. I don't know if anyone heard about it. It's also a great tool for um, doing like Cloud Code vibes, CLI vibe coding. But for now, unfortunately, the open code doesn't allow you uh, to use the entropic authentication, as far as I remember. Yeah. The Anthropic banned it. But you can use whatever you want. What's nice about open code is that it's the closest agentic tool that you can use to Cloud Code if you want, for example, to use a different model. So like Gemini 3 Pro or something like that via API or just the authorization to your account. It's one of the best tools that you can use to like do your code because the basic codex and the Gemini CLI is not that great in the interaction with the models. So what it does now, it creates us a Git project, which is very nice. You better create a Git project anytime you do stuff. Yeah. In this environment, it's very nice that you can do multiple tasks at one. So, for example, for now we are doing the data analysis, data science, and for example, in the other tab we can do visualizations or any other stuff. What it asks us now? Auto approve? Yes, we will auto approve. We do it in quick way, and we can do in parallel. Submit our answers. So now the get shit done will generate a config for our work. It can also run multiple agents in one research first, discover best, what, yeah, it can research. It will create multiple agents at one time. Each of these agent will create and complete its own phase, so it will like do stuff very fast, very efficient, and it can do a proper production grade level of code in very short amount of time and still make it like usable and useful for your job and like for stuff like that. Yeah. Any questions so far?
Yeah. Is there a limit to the amount of data it can like process in this way?
Yes, of course, there is a context.
Yeah.
There is a context limit that can actually end up the main issue in when you are doing a vibe coding is that the context of the LLMs is not like infinite. It will end, and each time it ends, it stops doing its tasks the way it should, and your main, I would say, job in this case is to set up a such environment where you can properly how do I say it?
Like retain its memory?
Retain its memory, exactly. What
Okay.
do we do here is a very cool stuff that we create a planning for our research and work. So the like MCP server we're using now creates specifically a detailed plan that can be used for it in the future. So if, for example, I close this window and reopen it again and start a new agent and say like continue the project, it will have a special reference. What is not done, what is done. So for example, this will be like marked, for example, crossed, something like that. Um, and in a way that, for example, you can spawn 4 agents at once, and they will do it simultaneously. So it's the main goal. You have to describe as most efficiently and most explanatory way as you can, and trust your agent that it will not steal your data. Yeah, this is very important also.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Um, Also, I don't know. I'm using a Max subscription for Claude. As far as I remember, there is a bit less limit on the CLI tool, for example, for Pro subscription on Claude. But I don't know. Usually, when you go for a job, you can just get best tier subscription for you to work. But yeah, I think it should not be an issue. There is also like also what I would suggest. Um, what's very good about open code is that it can be used with the um, control A. It can be used with the any any model you want. So, for example, if we want to use Quen, we can, as far as I remember, we can set up. Uh, Wait a second. Um, hmm. I thought we can connect it, but just a second. Okay, yeah, then you connect. What's great about OpenCode is that it allows you to connect to the local models you can run on your PC. So, for example, when 8 billion, it's pretty small model, but still it's much better than like having nothing. So, for example, in local inference, it will take a bit time to load, but now it should be very quick. What can we ask? I don't know. Write me um, okay. Sure. Well, uh, go to generate a circle in the No model. Not that great model, but no. Yeah, I have Matplotlib, I think. No. Oh. Now we have to set up an environment. Just a second. I will ask it. How to find set up an environment in. So we initialize the repository. If we have when we can try to run once again. It will probably say that we don't have Matplotlib. We'll install it directly to the virtual environment. Nice. We'll probably need to install the numpy. Oh yeah, we have it already. Yep, we have circle. No, nice. I will check it. This method also. Okay, I don't know. But still, it's just a small 8 billion models that runs locally pretty fast. You can use it for debugging or embedding. It's very, very helpful when you don't want to spend much on compute and you have some resources available on your PC. So I'm strongly recommending to use such tools for your day-to-day life. Jason, okay. Yeah, we will just do everything in one place because it's not that much. Yeah, we want to do it as fast as possible. By the way, we can probably make it much faster if we don't use such tools, but I just wanted to show you how we, for example, how are you or me are going to do like a very hard and distributed projects like this. Not like this, but but it is very important that you also understand that you have to also try to investigate as much. It also creates the features. It's very important that you can follow on trends and read the newsletters, maybe papers, or just check the GitHub repositories once in a week, I don't know, to know the best new features and stuff like that, because it come up daily, I would say. So there is dramatic changes every day, every hour. So in order to come up with all of this stuff, you have to focus on this. Yeah. What else? Hmm. Eugene, do you have any questions? Eugene is even here. He left. Nice. Okay. We'll talk to him later. Um, okay. You see here that our context is slowly decreasing as the session continues because the model have around 200K or 2 million tokens context length, something like that. But yeah.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
wondering, like, you ever feel like these tools like make you a bit lazy? Like sometimes I feel like I could just do it myself, but I
Yeah,
don't know,
you
like I'm
definitely. You
something
definitely can do
worse.
it by yourself. It makes you like really lazy. That's the main issue. You should like choose between how lazy are you, but actually, if you can automate stuff like to the way that it is like not that fast for you to do it, it is a great tool. Because for example, I can oh just a second. I can open here an unlimited amount of tabs and have my agents do stuff for me in like and very fast and like very fast way. So it is very the way you want to set up your environment. So for example, if you're just doing one task, you can probably do it by yourself. But if you have like a big project and you want to think of it properly and maybe roadmap it clearly and stuff like that, you can use agents.
That does make
Yeah.
sense, and I do get a big project is quicker. But like, I'm sometimes scared that in the long term, I'm just become worse at programming. Like, I might lose my own skills. And, like, it's hard to balance
Oh, yeah, it
getting
could
it.
come up. Probably it can come up, but I don't really think that we will ever go back to the way that we will write any code
Ooh.
ourselves. I'm actually waiting for the time when the some sort of first LLM only language will come in because it will. It's it's easier for LLM to speak to directly to the computer, not to like to the people itself. So what we can do now, we can it's ended its like planning and reasoning stuff and like that. Created the project, the config, the research requirements, roadmap, and states. So in planning, you can see all of these MD files outlined. What do we want to do and when and stuff like that. Um, it is a bit overkill now for this small project, but it's just a demonstration. What are we going to do now is we allow it to continue doing it. We will disable the permissions. Oh yeah, I should do it in another tab. Just a second. So we will exit out of Cloud. We will disable the permissions. Uh, I would not recommend it, but it's more easier for us to do it. So, and then we go to the phase one. It will do it everything automatically inside our directory, and we even don't need to press any buttons. Still, this bypass permissions on is very, very quite of dangerous, I would say. you should not use it for any production or any work kind of code because it can just remove all of your directories like in a second. So yeah, but it is just faster for us. Minimals. Did I said already once again discuss? Oh, sorry. Uh, sorry. Execute. We need to execute. Yeah, I think time is up because I need to go at 4. Really sorry for such long demonstration. I didn't prepare it properly. But I think you all hopefully get the idea that you should to use as much tools that allows your model to work with your directories and the data closely. Yeah. Maybe we'll do another symposium where I prepare with just the presentation and make a short 30 minutes presentation where I will explain the exact differences and stuff without any demonstrations. But yeah, thanks for coming. Probably, hopefully see you around next time. Yeah, we'll stop the sharing and the meeting.